My dear family, in today's gospel, we hear a description of an event that the church calls a theophany. What is a theophany? In other words, it is a manifestation of God to humanity, or Christ revealing himself in his true identity through natural events, walking on water. We hear that Christ, after he had fed the crowds with the multiplication of the fish and the bread, he sends his disciples before him. They get on the boat, and then the boat starts shaking due to the strong wind that was against it. Christ then decides to reveal himself by walking on water, yet the disciples were terrified. They thought it was a ghost. Now keep in mind that back then, when it was evening, they had no high power lighting to illumine their surroundings. Therefore, it was pitch black. So it kind of makes sense that they would have thought it was a ghost. Yet, Christ approaches them and says, "Be not afraid, it is me." Peter, without hesitation, says, "Lord, if it is you, command me to walk on water and go to you." And the Lord replies, "Walk." But then he starts seeing his surroundings, and then he sinks. Now, why did I repeat this story? Sometimes, my dear family, sometimes we too are sent on the journey of life before Christ. We are sent on the body of our church. We are sent in the body of our homes, of the boat of our bodies. At times we may feel as if we are about to sink in the boat of our house, or in the boat of our church, or in the boat of ourselves. Maybe the struggles and the issues we face are drowning us. We may think that there is no way out, and that it is pitch black out there. No one will see us. No one will notice us. And when someone does, we think it's a ghost. Who will notice me in the middle of the darkness? And then we panic. We think that there is no one else but a ghost. So we reject this person who is our Lord by blaming that person for what we're struggling with. We blame that person for the storm that we are found in. Others may ask who that person is, and they may recognize him, and they will be like Peter. "Lord, if it is you, command me to walk with you. Command me to rise above the waters of my suffering, the waters of my fear, and command me to walk on them." Some others may be already walking on water. They may already be walking in the midst of a storm, and they look around and they see the problems, the suffering, the struggles, and then doubt sinks in. Is it true? Can God really be here? Can he help us? Where is he? I don't see him. And then we begin to sink. Yet, my dear family, it is in the midst of struggle, in the midst of suffering, that Christ presents himself the most. He appears ready to give us a hand, to catch us right before we sink, ready to calm the storm, but he wants us to trust him. It is during the times that we struggle the most that we have our own theophany. God making himself present to us, manifesting his power to us. God manifests his power in the midst of a storm to reveal his identity, that he is God and that he commands the winds and the seas. My dear family, when we walk in the middle of a storm, let it rise above and become an opportunity to make water give you life instead of making water sink you. Let us allow Christ to turn this struggle into a manifestation of His great power to humanity. Let us trust Him that He can command over the winds, the oceans, and our lives.